To turn it over to Ms. Abby Sanchez to lead us in the invocation and pledge.
Good evening. As the summer vacation comes to an end, we hope you enjoyed your summer with fun and exciting memories. We are thrilled to welcome all of you back to a new school year of learning and growing. Of course, it's close to it. We all are very grateful and elated to continue this journey with you. We are so thankful for all of our SCPS family, for all their hard work and dedication that they have committed to making this upcoming school year an awesome year for everyone. They have worked tirelessly planning and preparing for our students, families, and our entire community. Despite any obstacles that may arise, we must always believe in our ability to rise above challenges and come out stronger on the other end. All of us will have new opportunities and challenges to improve the lives and futures of our students. We are truly thankful for your dedication to our mission. Whether you are driving a school bus, preparing meals, engaging families and parents, maintaining facilities, administrating a school, department or program, teachers, counselors, or anyone who helps in any capacity, we are so blessed to have such an extraordinary SCPS family. So continue to do what you do best, helping our students learn, smile, belong, and become lifelong learners. Ask intriguing questions, don't be afraid to try new things, share and collaborate with each other. We appreciate your energy that you put into your work, the patience, guidance, and the potential that you see in every child. Also, thank you to our parents and families for sharing your precious children with us. May this be a wonderful school year for everyone. Now, can you please stand for the pledge? Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Let the record reflect that all 5 school board members are in attendance. Also this evening visiting, wishing to be acknowledged, is Ms. Katie Murphy, representing the PTA, and Melissa Pugh, president of Seminole County Council PTA. Welcome, ladies. Thank you for joining us this evening. Dr. Griffin, do you have any agenda modifications at this time?
Yes, Madam Chair, I have 2. The first is the addendum for good cause is marked on our electronic agenda by a green flag named addendum item. And also, I need to pull item 2C. Those are our SECME national champs, and they'll be coming to our August 13th meeting instead.
Okay, great. School board members, do you have any items for removal or clarifying questions?
No.
Seeing none, is there a motion for approval of the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion and second. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, like sign. Motion carries unanimously. We have quite a few presentations and recognitions, so let's meet up front.
Good evening, Dr. Griffin and board members. It is my pleasure tonight to recognize our SCPS Veteran of the Month for July 2019, Mr. Jesus Beltran. Jesus, please come forward. And that's a mighty good-looking picture up there of Jesus. First Sergeant Jesus Beltran served in the United States Army from January 1974 to September 1994. During his 20-year military career, Jesus was assigned to Fort Jackson, South Carolina, Fort Sill, Oklahoma, and Fort Ord, California. He also served 2 tours in Germany and was deployed 3 times to Honduras as a liaison officer. His assignments included duty as First Sergeant, Battalion Intelligence Sergeant, Platoon Sergeant, Gunnery Sergeant, Howitzer Section Chief, and Drill Sergeant. First Sergeant Beltran was awarded 3 Meritorious Service Medals, 4 Army Commendation Medals, 6 Army Good Conduct Medals, the Humanitarian Service Medal, and numerous other awards and decorations. Jesus Beltran has been a district security officer and has managed the fingerprinting and background screening operations for Seminole County Public Schools since his retirement from the U.S. Army in 1994. Sergeant Beltran does an outstanding job as he manages nearly 40,000 initial and rescreen background checks of employees and vendors. He married Maria Beltran in 1981, and together they have 2 children and 4 grandchildren. Congratulations, Jesus, and thank you for your service.
Good evening, Dr. Griffin and school board members. Tonight, I'm proud to announce that the Duke Energy Foundation is donating $40,000 in grant funding to support renewable energy and engineering education in Seminole County Public Schools. This grant will impact over 7,000 students through our Grants for Great Ideas classroom mini-grant program in STEM areas, the engineering program at Lyman High School, I saw Mike Rice here, and renewable energy programs at both Keith Elementary and Winter Springs High. Duke Energy is a long-standing supporter of education, investing almost $700,000 in Florida this year. They've been supporting our foundation for over 19 years, and during that time have funded 65 grants totaling over $800,000. Their support demonstrates their commitment to our community by preparing students for in-demand careers. Thank you to Duke Energy, and I'd like to welcome Sharon Arroyo and Patty D'Alessandro to come take a quick picture. Thank you.
Dr. Griffin and board members, I want to start tonight by recognizing 2 very special state champions. The teams have a small representation here tonight because many of the student athletes are doing things like playing in college and playing in other tournaments around the state. But first, let's start. Come on up. The Winter Springs High School softball team. After capturing conference, district, and regional team titles, the Lady Bears entered a highly anticipated Battle of the Unbeaten showdown with a #1 nationally ranked team in Lakewood Ranch. In the state championship game, these amazing young ladies were dominant with a one-hit 3-0 shutout victory, capping off their undefeated season at 31-0, and listen to this, earning a #1 national ranking. Also want to announce that Kaylee Mudge was Florida Dairy Farmers Player of the Year, and head coach Mark Wilmon was Florida Dairy Farmers Coach of the Year. And I'm going to read off the list. I know they're not all here, but let's go ahead and recognize them. Brianna Driscoll, Renice Farah, Lindsay Corzini, Kaylee Mudge, Madison Adams, Nicole Stricker, Destiny Colgate, Megan Haig, Kirsten Adams, Sky Ramos, Sierra Montes, Celia Burgos, Brianna Layton, Michaela Layton, Kennedy Gatton, Taylor Thomas, and Ansley Furbush. Head coach, Mark Wilmon. Assistant coaches, Eric Burley, Aaron Wolf, Marissa Blake. Athletic trainer, Mark Benedict. Manager, Christy Mandingo. Scott Gomrad is the athletic director. And, of course, the principal, the Papa Bear himself, Pete Gaffney. Number one team in the nation. And next, for the second time in school history, the Seminole High School baseball team brought home the state championship. Come on up, Seminole High School baseball team. The boys defeated Miami Coral Reef High School 1-0 in a championship game for the ages. Mason Maserati counted for the lone run with a home run in the 6th inning. Pitcher Charlie McDaniel went the distance in throwing a complete game shutout and also making one of the most memorable catches in school history as he caught the final out while falling to the ground. The championship game is also significant in bringing a state title to two longtime Seminole County baseball coaches, head coach Kenny Brown and assistant coach Kevin Wayscott. And here is the team. Jalen DeBose, Andrew Garcia, Mason Maserati, Daniel Hope, Jalen Bandu, Craig Conk, Zachary McCauley, Josh Glazar, Ricky Gaines, Matt Allen, Ethan Backus, Charlie McDaniel, Gage Oyer, Tyler Harding, Greg Fonseca, Caden Reeves, Grant Vinson, TJ Milena, Sean McArdle, and Robert Rodriguez. Head coach Kenny Brown, assistant coaches Kevin Wainscott, Brooks Robinson, Joel Bernasette, Woody Woodard, and Jordan Thomas. Managers Pete Glazar and Garrett Walden. Also I saw here tonight, assistant principal for the ages, Lance Abney. I'd also like to mention that Mr. Abney and myself were teammates on the Seminole High baseball team many years ago. Yes, moving on. Dr. Griffin, we need to move on. We have a few new administrators to welcome to the high school administrative team. First up, from Lyman High School, please welcome Karen Nielsen, assistant principal, Lyman High School. Ms. Nielsen joins the Greyhound family after numerous years of caring for students both as a teacher and a leader. She previously served as an assistant principal at Mainland High School and New Smyrna Beach High School, where she led the school by developing the master schedule each year. She has a passion for working with at-risk students and caring for those who need additional supports. As a teacher, Ms. Nielsen taught social studies and also was the dance and color guard instructor. Congratulations and welcome aboard, Lyman High School assistant principal, Karen Nielsen. Also welcome assistant principal at Lyman High School, Mick Showalter. Mick comes to us with a wealth of educational leadership experience. He previously served as an AP at Colonial High School, Cypress Creek High School, and Oak Ridge High School in Orange County. And most recently, he served the students as a charter school principal at Chancery High School. As a teacher, Mr. Showalter taught social studies in high school, and on the athletic field, he was a football coach. In attendance with him tonight is his girlfriend, Rachel Wright. Assistant principal at Lyman High School, Mick Showalter. And our final high school administration introduction, please welcome principal of Lake Brantley High School, Mr. Brian Blazewicz. Brian has spent 10 years working in Seminole County Public Schools at 4 different schools, Lake Howell, Hagerty, Lyman, and Lake Brantley. He started as a 9th grade reading teacher before moving into AP American Government and then becoming a dean and a SAM at Lake Howell. In 2014, he was hired as an assistant principal at Hagerty High School, overseeing English, reading, and the CTE departments. Then in 2016, he was transferred to Lyman High School to take over the ESC Student Services and Athletics Department. Family members with him tonight, his wife, Ashley, his children, Braxton and Ava. And how old is Ava? 3 weeks old. First board meeting. His parents, Mike and Helen Blazewitz, always good to have Dr. B at a board meeting. And his mother-in-law and brother-in-law, Terry and Evan Anderson. Also, you saw his admin team here to support him. Congratulations, new principal at Lake Brantley High School, Mr. Brian Blazewitz.
Got it. She's a cutie. Dr. Griffin and board members, please join me in welcoming our newest elementary administrators. I'd like to introduce Conrad Forbes, the new assistant principal at Bear Lake Elementary School. Mr. Forbes started as a fourth grade teacher in Broward County. He received his bachelor's and master's in educational leadership from both Florida Atlantic University. He has worked as a curriculum specialist, and most recently, he served as an assistant principal at both the elementary and middle school level for the past years. Here tonight with Mr. Forbes in attendance is his girlfriend, Carletta Bennett. Would you please stand, Mrs. Bennett? We'd also like to welcome our new assistant principal to Caroline Elementary School, Teddy Adamas. Ms. Adamas received her specialist degree in educational leadership from National Louis University in 2016. She received her MBA from the University of Phoenix and her bachelor's degree from St. John's University. She is currently in the process of earning her master's degree in history from Queens College. With Mrs. Adamas tonight are family members, son Elijah, daughter Paloma, and husband Gilbert Panada. Please stand. And we also have with us Dustin Trahan, the new assistant principal at Pinecrest Elementary School. Dustin? Mr. Trahan received his master's in educational leadership from St. Leo College and his master's in education from the University of Florida. He has taught kindergarten through fifth grade for 6 years in 2 turnaround schools, earning Rookie Teacher of the Year in 2012. For the last 3 years, he was an instructional coach in 2 other turnaround schools in Marion County, assisting in increasing Marion Oaks Elementary's grade from a D to a B in 2017. With Mr. Trahan tonight in attendance is his wife, Yvette, his 3 kids, Elise, Lucas, and Jonas. Please stand. Thank you.
Board members, thank you for giving me a few moments. I would like to take a moment to highlight a very important recognition received by our school district. Last week, we were invited to attend the opening session of the annual conference of the Florida Association for Career and Technical Education, better known by educators as FACTE. And operating since 1926, it is the only organization in Florida that is solely dedicated to promoting career and technical education and representing the interests of career and technical educators. Each year, they invite its entire membership to nominate students and educators for awards that celebrate outstanding contributions to career and technical education. I am honored to share that this year, Our own superintendent, Dr. Walt Griffin, was selected as its Superintendent of the Year. In its announcement of Dr. Griffin's recognition, the awards committee cited the significant growth of career and technical education in Seminole County Public Schools, especially the large number of programs that have opened or expanded recently to prepare students for high demand and high wage employment. The awards committee was equally impressed with Dr. Griffin's vision for ePathways, his support for student attainment of industry certification and internships, and his work to develop Sci-High, his efforts to generate additional funding for Seminole's CTE programs. As superintendent, Dr. Griffin is expanding opportunities for students to gain employability skills and building a solid talent pipeline in Seminole County that will ensure our community's economic prosperity for the next generation of graduates and citizens. Dr. Griffin's vision for an educational system that prepares all students for their future education and career pathway is happening in our schools each and every day. This award recognizes Dr. Griffin for these achievements, and it also validates all of the investments that our teachers, administrators, our business community, and this school board are making to the benefit of all of our students and families. Thank you, Dr. Griffin, for inspiring and leading us to excellence in career and technical education and workforce preparation. We are so proud of you and humbled to work with you. Yeah, that's right, we did that.
Always has to.
Thank you.
That's all right, it was. Am I calling Dr. Cody?
Well, I lost track here.
Student achievement.
Kelly Thompson.
At this point in time, I'd like to call Kelly Thompson to the podium to share with us our focus on student achievement. Good evening.
Good evening, board members and Dr. Griffin. I'd just like to share with you a review of our 2018-2019 school grades. 81% of Seminole County Public Schools are A and B rated schools this year. This slide provides a little bit more detailed look at our schools by instructional level. At elementary, 73% of our schools earned A's and B's, with 92% of our middle schools as A's and B's, and 100% of our high schools earning grades of A and B. As a district, Seminole is a solid A-rated school district. We increased our overall performance by 18 points with a 2% increase in the percent of total points possible. Just as a reminder, the graduation rate and the college and career acceleration rate, those are lag data from the 2017-2018 school year that impact this year's school grade. Our 2018-2019 estimates for these components are that we are showing steady improvement, and those metrics will impact our 2019-2020 school grades. As a district, we remain ranked first and second in both Central Florida and the largest 17, with the exception of 8th grade math. And board members, as you are aware, we have placed a priority on increasing our Algebra 1 exposure for our 8th graders. And this has impacted our 8th grade math FSA data. And we will continue to focus on instruction and support for our 8th grade pre-algebra students in the current year. We are very proud of our students and our teachers and the hard work and the continued support of parents in our community that have resulted in a great performance by our school district this year. Thank you.
Board members, any questions? I have one, a quick one. Do you know when we will get the final results for our grad rate for this year?
Typically, we'll be receiving those in December.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
And I just want to say thank you for working on this, your whole team, and everything that you all do. We appreciate you all so much.
Thank you very much.
And board members, I know, echo your sentiments. None of this is possible without our great teachers.
Amen.
They
Exactly.
work hard every
Oh,
day,
every
day
day.
in and day out. Students at all levels,
Exactly.
and
Amen.
putting 1 year's growth, 1 year's time, every student is what makes this happen. So kudos to our teachers.
Exactly.
Thank you. Dr. Griffin, do you have a recommendation for a consent agenda?
That the consent agenda be approved as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. At this point in time, I'd like to turn it over for public comment. And Mrs. Almond, would you like to share our
I would.
parameters of
Thank
public
you.
comment? I'd appreciate it.
The public input segment of the meeting is provided for the purpose of permitting persons to present specific matters to the board for its consideration and action or referral to the superintendent and his staff. The public input segment of the meeting is not open to presentations of campaign issues by political candidates, matters involving student disciplinary actions, pending litigation, employee disciplinary matters. Each individual member of the public is limited to 3 minutes, and a designated group representative may have up to 6 minutes. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Ms. Almond. At this point in time, I'd like to call Mr. Jeff Williams to the podium, and the lighting will give you a hint of when your time is up. Thank you for being here this evening.
Good evening,
Good evening.
board members. I'm Jeff Williams.
Good evening.
I'm a Central Florida resident of about 30 years, parent, small business owner, and employer. And so what I would like to visit with you all tonight is about texting and driving. Our business involves monitoring heavy equipment, fleet equipment. And over the last 15 years, we've probably gathered 2 billion miles worth of truck data. And the numbers have come in overwhelming. And so one of the initiatives that I want to talk to you guys about is texting and driving. We're techie people. That's what we do for a living. And as teens begin to drive, their whole lives are enveloped with using technology. And so despite the fact that they're driving, sometimes doesn't matter that they text and drive. 26% of all auto crashes involve cell phones. You're 23 times likely to have an accident when you're texting and driving. And 25% of the time when kids are driving, they're texting and driving. About 3,000 children died last year from texting and driving, and there was about 350,000 hospital visits as a result of it. So, So what I was hoping to impress upon you tonight is World's Finest Chocolate, as you know, back in the day that sells the chocolate bars. We have collaborated with them because of the goodwill that they've put across the country over the last near 75 years as to come up with a campaign as to incentivize children to not text and drive. And as it turns out, this was frankly luck. This is from the Florida law. For a person cited for the first-time violation of this section, if the person shows the clerk purchase equipment that enables his personal wireless communication device to be set in a hands-free manner, then the 3 points will be taken off their license. And if you're paying for insurance for a 16-year-old, I don't need to tell you what the consequences are. So my hope is, as we go through Central Florida, and Kevin Croto, who's the world's finest chocolate rep through all of Florida, we're going to be working through in furthering education to do so. So I thank you for your time and your consideration.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Madam Clerk, any other speaker request forms? Okay. Student disciplinary hearing dispositions. Dr. Griffin, do you have a recommendation?
Yes, I do, Madam Chair. My recommendation is that the School Board of Seminole County approve the student disciplinary recommendations from June 17th, 2019.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion carries unanimously. No unfinished business or new business, and the superintendent's report, Dr. Griffin, I think is read-only.
Yes, all 4 items are read-only.
Thank you. Moving on to board member committee updates. Member Sanchez, please.
All right, I'll go first. This past weekend, Castleberry Elementary's PTA had a beautification committee work at the school. We had probably over 45 people there helping out, and some community leaders as well. We planted flowers and mulched, and I pulled lots of weeds. I didn't tree trim because I'm not tall enough, but I couldn't go on the roof, but I did help the other ways. I mean, I hung some lizards on my ears. I'm sure you could see that. And of course, all of us had a wonderful time at summer school graduation, packed house at Lake Brantley High School, amazing ceremony. Also, a few of us have an opportunity to watch the Zachariah Cartledge run for the fallen heroes, police officers and firefighters who have passed away. He runs a mile within the first 24 to 48 hours. He also had a trip to Illinois this past weekend that they had traveled up to. Sadly, Illinois has lost quite a few officers, so they invited him up there, and they had an amazing, very emotional journey of running with him and following him as he helps bring awareness to all of the officers that have passed away. And of course, we had an awesome time at July 4th Geneva Parade. Some of us were able to participate in that, or some of the other events throughout the county with Red Hot and Boom. And then I'll leave the rest to everybody else because I know everybody else has other things. That's it.
Thank you. Member Kraus.
She covered everything.
Okay, great. Vice Chairman Almond.
I have one item that I'll bring to our work session on board member items, open discussion. And other than that, I've really appreciated the 4-day work week in the summer and having the 3 days more time with our families. And I hope everybody else has done the same and spent time with their families.
Great. Member Pennick.
Ditto everybody else, and I appreciated the DOH workshop that we had and really value the partnership that we have with them to create healthy environments and have access to health care in our schools.
I think it's really unique that we do collaborate so well because we're all serving the same children and families, so it's better to do it together.
Yes.
I agree.
Anything else?
That's it.
Okay, I just have 2 quick updates of boards that I represent you all on. The Orlando Science Center, our last board meeting, we celebrated the $10 million grant from the TDC, which will help fund the new Pompeii exhibit. And this summer, they also have a lot of great exhibits based on space, thanks to the 50th anniversary. So I encourage you and your families or grandchildren, if they want to go visit the Science Center, there's a lot of great new exhibits available. And from the Central Florida Zoo, I'm pleased to announce that we have now been certified for special needs and autistic children to come if they need to have a quieter environment. So hopefully that will be able to serve more of our students within the confines here at the zoo. But coming up, our biggest fundraiser of the year is on September 20th, a Wild Affair. If anyone is interested in attending, it will be from 6 till 10 at the Lake Mary Marriott. But that is our one big fundraiser a year to help with all of our animals and educational programs. And this year, for the first time ever, I'm really excited that the Central Florida Zoo will be host to the Asian Lantern Festival. The companies actually come over from Asia, and within all the exhibits at the zoo, larger than lifelike lanterns, and it's so exciting. It's going to be at night. So we are rewiring all the electricity at the zoo. None of the animals will be bothered. It's a silent time, but what a wonderful way to celebrate the holidays with your family with a new family tradition. So that will run from November 20th until January 12th, Wednesday through Sunday night. They're expecting over 50,000 visitors. It has taken place in a few other zoos around the country, and they've sold out every single night that it's been there. And so we're really excited about bringing this opportunity to Central Florida, because they say usually the average commute time for visitors to this event is over 2 hours. So we're actually sending marketing to Jacksonville, to St. Pete, and all the surrounding areas. So we're kind of excited that it's right in our backyard, that we can just drive over in a few minutes with our own family. So I encourage the schools around their curriculum, when they're talking about Asia, there's a lot of educational component to this as well. So I thank you for your attention and allowing me to serve on those boards. Dr. Griffin, do you have anything else?
That's all this evening.
Okay. That being said, this meeting stands adjourned. Thank you so very much.